Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Tokz once again, and today we're going to react to what nobody understands about Ken of SB19. Ooh, issue. Anyway, this is a video by Casual Chuck. Thank you very much for this video. I was just curious. Nakita ko lang on my feed, and let's check it out together. Why and why? 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 Ano yun? Let's go. Why is he the most hated and why he is the most loved?
Sino ang pinaka-spoiled sa grupo?
Ito
Sino ang makakalimutan? Hindi mong patapos na, nagkamali pa siya. Bakit naman Ken? Bakit si Ken? Bakit si Ken?
Please stop it.
I like your editing, bro.
Ken is, in my opinion, the most successful idol in P-pop history. Most fans see him as someone who's living the life most of us can only dream of. But in reality, there's a lot more going on behind all the glitz and glamour. So in today's video, we will reveal the challenges he had to go through just to get where he is today. From being a scrawny kid who only ate instant noodles on his birthdays to becoming the CEO of his own company. I know, Ken's story is like a definition of rags to riches. And the haters are not having it. He quickly became one of the most polarizing figures in the P-pop industry. But before we talk about all that, let's talk about his humble beginnings because it's straight up inspiring. It all started in Pagadian, Zamboanga del Sur. This is the countryside where Felipe John Suson was raised. His mom wanted to name him Kenji, but his grandpa Felipe insisted to name him Philip. He was the youngest member of a family that barely had anything financially.
Okay.
They were very poor that instead of a cake on his birthday,
Ngayon
all
alam
he
ko na
gets
kung
is a
saan
plate of
nanggaling yung
instant
Ken at
noodles.
saka Philip.
Life was so hard that having fried chicken was heaven for him, so it quickly became his all-time favorite. Because of this, both of his parents had to go overseas to find better paying jobs to support the education of Ken.
Okay, kaya pala fried chicken. Ngayon ko lang nalalaman tong mga bagay na to, guys. And it's just interesting to know.
His parents had to go overseas to find better paying jobs to support the education of Ken and his older sister. He had to be taken under the care of his grandparents. He then grew up in a church and his grandpa was the pastor. He was just a scrawny kid who likes mathematics and discovered drawing as his first talent. So he went on to become an editorial cartoonist in school. Family gatherings in the Philippines always require a karaoke machine, and Kent's extended family wasn't a stranger to that. He used to hide during these occasions because he was always asked to sing. I was told by some sources that Ken had a very good singing voice as a kid but lost his confidence when puberty hit because it gave him an ultra deep voice which turned out to become one of his greatest assets in the future because of the dude named Pablo.
I never thought na may mga tao talaga makapag-appreciate ng voice ko. Kasi hindi ako ganoon ka confident sa voice ko kasi yung range ko mababa lang tapos malalim.
Ako rin Ako rin nung ano ko, yung bata ako, yung maganda rin yung singing voice ko kaso nawala ang aking confidential, so joke lang.
Confident sa voice ko kasi yung range ko mababa lang tapos malalim yung boses ko. Ngayon, parang naging na-appreciate ko na yung boses ko dahil may mga tao na ka-appreciate na. Nice.
Anyway, his newfound love for music got him to learn his first musical instrument without anyone teaching him. So he ended up becoming a southpaw guitarist but later fixed it as he learned more. He was also active in sports representing his school in regional tournaments. He played some table tennis and sepak takraw as a spiker. For those who don't know, this position requires exceptional skills to perform explosive jumps to block and spike the ball. The teacher saw this as a potential that
What?
could translate into good dancing, so he was offered to join the dance club for better grades. He was hesitant at first, but when he tried, you all know what happened next. Watching his early clips feels like he was born to dance. He was even hired by his school to choreograph some dance routines.
Yeah,
he
it's
then
in
moved
his
to
blood.
Cagayan de Oro to study architecture in college. He became a member of the dance crews called Excite, GA7, and Amigo 7. His last two crews were so good, in fact, Ken had a crewmate named Joshua who went on to become a member of a successful international idol group in the future called Z-Boys. They were beating everybody in the countryside, so there was no point in competing there anymore. It was time for the big leagues. They got invited to join major K-pop dance competitions, and this was the first time when Ken met other SB19 would-be members. Not as brothers, but as enemies. In one particular contest, Josh and Stell's crew defeated Ken's because they already had a GOAT status in the industry at the time. Ken accepted defeat gracefully and even asked to be trained by Josh, which actually surprised him because he thought Ken was a show-off.
Kinausap niya po ako eh. Sabi niya sa akin, Idol Josh, gano'n po tawag niya sa akin yun, Idol Josh. Pasali naman ako sa ano nyo, patraining naman ako sa grupo nyo. Kahit sa gilid lang ako.
But because of their distance, the training together never
Grabe,
happened.
no?
Ken then went home to continue his studies.
Napaka-humble din eh. Talagang nag-ano pa siya, no? Siya pa yung humingi talaga ng ano, kahit alam niya sa sarili niyang ang galing niyang sumayaw. Humingi pa rin siya ng ano. Uy, Idol Josh, pwedeng makasali sa grupo niyo kahit dyan lang sa gilid. Parang nakakatuwa lang malaman yung ganung bagay kasi doon mo malalaman na talagang ano siya eh, talagang feet on the ground. Kaya nakakatuwa rin talagang malaman ito mga ganitong bagay. Ayun. Wait lang.
He received a message from Josh. It was an invite to audition for the 5th member spot of SB19. But there's one problem. Ken had no money, so Josh was like, no problem, I'll take care of it. Ken then told his
Networker
grandma
eh.
about stopping school to pursue it, and she was very hesitant because she thought it was a scam, and his parents overseas
Chuck, saan mo nakukuha itong mga clip na to?
to pursue it, and she was very hesitant because she thought it was a scam, and his parents overseas would have automatically said no. But Ken was so close to his grandma that he managed to convince her to go in secret. So our country boy took off to pursue his dreams. He had nothing with him except his phone, his clothes, and a 1,500 peso pocket money. This time when he arrived at the airport, there was no crew. It was all him. So imagine how that must have felt. Anyway, he took a taxi to SBT Talent Camp, and of course, the driver scammed him. He had to pay 600 pesos for a supposedly 150 peso trip. What a ripoff. Anyway, he finally met Josh and the boys and started training with them for a year while crashing into a distant relative's house to rest up. He slept on the floor, not with a comforter, but a banig. Because if he didn't, he would be homeless. Ken had no salary when he was still training, so he moonlighted as a small-time model to survive, which is an experience that would play a big role in his future. The dude was literally fighting for his dreams every single day. So here comes 2018 when they finally debuted, and though it was a rocky start, they gradually progressed to become the greatest P-pop group God has ever created. If you want to know more about their story as a group, check out the SB19 story series I made, linked down in the description. You can also join the highest tier of our channel's membership if you're interested to be credited as one of the executive producers. So how did Ken become the most polarizing P-pop idol? Like, how is he either obsessively loved by fans or obsessively hated by bashers? Well, he has this persona of a badass dude who doesn't give a shit. And if you combine that with one of the many accusations thrown at him, then they got themselves a new P-pop villain in the making. But there's one thing in common between all those issues. They lack evidence. There are a few exceptions though, but you can't say a person is arrogant just because he looks cool and badass. The dude is even a song
The thing is, when when you look arrogant, like when you look cool, they always think that you're arrogant, and they always think that you don't give a shit. But little they know is it's not about the appearance. You cannot judge a person but by its appearance, like physical or whatever appearance. Um Kasi ano to parang nakasanayan na ng mga Pilipino, na hindi lang ng mga Pilipino, ng mga tao rin sa buong mundo, na you brand a person by its clothes, by its looks, by its tattoos and the hair color and whatever. Uh, Common thing na iba-brand mo yung specific na tao na yun dahil lang sa nakikita mo, without even knowing the story behind them or knowing the person in real life or personally. And this is what's happening with Ken, because he has the looks. He looks cool, and it looks like he doesn't give a fuck. But in reality, he does give a lot of he does give a fuck. um hindi mo lang talaga makikita masyado sa kanya kasi may barrier siya. At ayun din yung isa sa nagpapa love sa kanya ng mga fans niya, kasi may mysterious side siya, and sometimes yung mga hindi natin masyadong alam na bagay parang mas nakaka-attract. Yun yung nangyayari. And sa iba naman, sa ibang perspective naman, point of view, may maiinis kasi napaka-ano naman ito, ganito, ganyan. It's just the way it is. I mean, every artist, every public personality will have haters and fans, and you cannot avoid that. Laging balance yan. And that's what's happening to Ken.
Softy. He tends to cry in interviews and emotional moments. His awkwardness as a kid is still there, and this TikTok clip says it all.
Me and you and me, just us and your friend Steve. Do 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 Steve.
Also, you can't just call a person lazy just because you've seen a few clips of him sleeping. I mean, isn't it a result of him working too hard? Being an idol and running your own clothing company at the same time is no joke. The dude only used
True.
to draw this aspiration, but now he made it happen. He managed to build a company that sold out merch in just minutes. It's insane. It's even rumored that his company is now worth more than $1 million. Whether it's true or not, it put an even bigger target on his back. And haters started coming up with even more ridiculous claims, like accusing him of copying 2 K-pop music videos just because they have a similar vibe. This was easily debunked though. If you want to check it out, I made a video about it, link down in the description. His main dancer position got also heavily criticized because of one single clip of him messing up on live TV. It wasn't
Ay, yun lang. Nawalan kami ng net.
got also heavily criticized because of one single clip of him messing up on live TV. It wasn't fair in my opinion because
Yeah, because people will always nitpick everything that you do, especially when they are jealous, and that's what they do.
Ken has always been consistent in his dance performances, yet the haters suddenly forgot about how good he really is. Ken never fired back. Or did he?
Nagtatago kapag sa likod ng dami ang kampapre. Huwag mong mahiya, yeah. Lumabas ka na sa lunggo, yeah. Patingin naman na sample kung paano maghihilot pababa, yeah.
So why does the pull
Oh my God. Please release this song. Sana gawin yung official song yun sa haters. Grabe. Ganda ng banat niya dun.
Ken never fired back? Or did he?
Tago-tagoan, maliwanag ang buwan, yeah. Suddenly, haters on the way. Nagtatago kapag sa likod ng dami ang kampapre. Huwag mong mahiya,
Yo.
yeah. Lumabas ka na sa lunggo, yeah. Patingin naman na sample kung paano maghihilot
Hila
pababa,
pababa,
So why
yeah.
does the poultry still exist and are still growing in numbers after all the bashing? Well, it's because he doesn't only have the alluring personality, but he also has the capability to back it up. Scratch that. Capabilities. What's crazy about Ken is
Napaka friendly niya in person at saka napaka energetic. Para siyang laging ang lakas ng taas ng energy niya.
that he has already shown us enough talent like his exceptional dancing and singing that is enough to fulfill a main vocal role.
Saan darating ang mga salita na nanggagaling sa aming dalawa? Kung lumisan ka, wag naman sana, ika'y bumabit na.
Look at Justin, how he looks at Ken.
Di magkawala, aking sinta, ikaw lang dahanan ay mundo.
Yet he still has a lot of secrets. I'm telling you, man, this guy is a living anime character.
He is.
Have you heard of an idol who is also a CEO? A dancer who is known for his aerial flips but never tells us that he can also breakdance. A singer who writes and co-produces his own songs. A musician that plays guitar, keyboard, drums, and can even beatbox. A fashion influencer. A man who plays sports like basketball, billiards, volleyball, badminton, table tennis, boxing, and
What
sepak
the hell?
takraw with decent proficiency. A skater boy, an artist, a philanthropist, and most especially, a man of faith. I initially thought that the Superior Sound brand was all about him, but I was quickly proven wrong when I found this Bible verse underneath his Bulan CD, Hebrews 1:5-14. The entire passage is lengthy, but it all boils down to Christ being the superior of all beings. I mean, all of us have different religions, some don't even have one, but I just respect people like him who stand firm behind their beliefs. As of today, Ken has established himself as an arguably the most successful P-pop idol and the richest among his co-members. And it's just the beginning. They're still on their way to introducing Filipino music to the world through the US as of the making of this video. And his group SB19 is the first one to ever do it. So what have we learned about Ken's story? For me, it was his persistence and willingness to take risks. Have you ever noticed that sometimes it's your loved ones that said no to your aspirations? Because, they care about you. They don't want you to fail and all that. Do you know how many people have had visions, ideas, and huge career moves that they were about to do, but they allowed the word no to stop them? For all I know, you might be one of those people. The difference with Ken is that he never gave the power to the word no. It was his own grandma who tried to stop him, but he continued. Yes, haters exist, but he didn't reject his own ideas just because they rejected his ideas. Haters hate because they feel small when your ideas start turning into reality.
True.
He once said in an interview that success is the best revenge, so he stopped killing them with kindness. To this day, Ken has been torturing them with success.
God damn, yes. Great video, bro. Great video, bro. Really great video. A really great and insightful video. Yeah. Oh God, I've checked this. I've watched this one. This. Yeah. Um, like we said, haters gonna hate, and I'm done. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my reaction, and this is Talks once again. And always remember, mental health is as important as your physical health. I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.